Welcome everyone to Liberal Agencies Television. I hope this video finds you well in your location across the globe. The question is, can you make money through betting? Can a person make money through lottery or through gambling? This is a discussion that we've had so many times. And there's a friend of mine who always answers me direct by saying, if you want to make money out of gambling, go and work for a gambling company, or go and establish your own enterprise, gambling enterprise in your area, because there are so many you can establish. He usually just believes so. I don't agree with him, because a research shows that there is a percentage of the people who gamble that usually win those gambles. Only that the percentage is very small. For those who place their gambles, maybe a jackpot gambling or betting, because most gamblers want to make money, so they want to usually go for what will earn them money. So it's said that out of every 250 million people who play a jackpot, only one person wins. So 1 out of 250 million jackpot gamblers stand a chance. So you can calculate your chances if you usually play jackpot games. But of course, when you play lesser games, because the jackpot usually are more games, but when you play a lesser game or lesser games, the chances grows. So you can calculate your chances. If you can be one of the lucky gamblers out of 250 million, then you can make money out of it. So it's wrong to just say that you cannot make money. Some people can make money. There are so many areas that people can use for gambling. Like there are people who go to the casinos. In the casinos, there are a lot of games, slot machines, blackjack, the roulette, the craps, etc. Also, there are people who just go for sport betting. Sport betting includes maybe betting on soccer or volleyball, even athletics, playing cards, or even racing, safari rally, such things. There are a lot of games that one can bet on, or gamble on. Also, there are a lot of other games that you are given a card, and then you scratch. If you reveal some identical numbers, then you have won. So there are so many ways of gambling or betting. So we want to look at the causes. What can push somebody or cause somebody to start gambling? To start playing these betting games. one of the things that usually lead to people starting to participate in these betting things is when you are a supporter of a particular game. For example, football fans, you find that you support a particular team and you believe in it so much that when it's going to play, you always believe they are going to win. So that love for that team can always push you to put a stake on it, because I believe my team is good. Let me just put maybe 1,000 or a certain amount of money on my team, because you believe, you are proud of it, you believe they are going to win. And it starts like that. You can just start by betting on your team. So one cause that usually push people to start gambling is supporting a game. If it's a game that you support so much and you have a particular team that you are behind, that can lead you to start betting. Another cause that usually push people to start betting is maybe peer pressure. When you have friends who bet, or you associate yourself with people who bet, maybe as workmates, or you meet in a place and your colleagues or associates usually are people who bet. The stories that they talk about most of the time are how they are betting and everything. They can influence you. They can easily introduce you to betting. And you end up also starting to participate in betting. Just like that. Also, betting can also be fun. So people also can just start betting as entertainment. Let me just try this, and then you see how it goes. Maybe at times you win, you feel good. At times you lose, it pushes you to do another betting. So just for entertaining purposes, that can also push somebody to start betting. And also these betting companies can also entice you. Enticement is also a reason that can push somebody to start betting. They have a very sweet way of enticing people to join and start betting. For example, they even can hire agents to walk around talking to people to enroll you. They enroll you how you can open an account with them. Maybe they give you some free deposit or a free bet. The first bet is being free. Or the kind of adverts that they give, they entice you. They put pictures of your favorite player, and it's a betting company also that is putting that poster. So because of that caption of your best player, you end up now getting interested. What are they talking about? You start reading those things. Let me try. You've been enticed. Or they give publicity to maybe a person who have won. Maybe a person has played and has won out of so many people who have lost. But the only one person who has won is going to be given publicity in the posters, in the newspapers, in the television. So when you see this, you are enticed. You also want to be like that person. Enticement. That is also something that usually push people to enroll and start betting or start gambling. So it's very difficult for you to escape all these causes. At least one way or the other, you may just find yourself that you are participating in these things. Either maybe through friends that you have, they've introduced you, maybe through a team that you support can push you to. Maybe you've also watched some adverts, can push you, and so on. there are things that you need to know when you enter this field of betting. It has dangers, and it also has benefit, I can say. So let me just talk about a bit of benefits. Like I've said, betting can be fun. It can be entertaining also, So that's a benefit. Because at times you can be bored and you say some games are being played, let me just try. And you play, at times you win, at times you lose. You find it exciting, and you have your fun. And also pass some time. That's a benefit. Another benefit is it's an opportunity to make money. You can make money, except that people usually want to make a lot of money. And then it becomes now very tricky. But if you just maybe choose a single team, and you make just maybe a small amount, you have made money. But you see, people want to get a lot of money, so they usually go for jackpots, or they do a multi-bet of a lot of teams, so it's almost like a jackpot. And it becomes very difficult. But if you can put greed aside and just do a single team, maybe the percentage that people who do single bets have is also 11%. If you do a single bet, 11 out of 100, you always stand a chance of getting that bet. But gamblers will always want to combine teams and bet many teams so that they are standing good chance of winning. Another benefit is that it's very easy to start betting. You don't require so much things nowadays, Once you have a smartphone, you can enroll to any website that you like. Easy to enroll, just send an SMS and you have already been registered. And there are also these betting spots that have come into the estates, into the places where people live. And they are risky because for them, they just allow everybody. They don't care. When you enter, you have money, you want to bet, even the age, that doesn't matter, which is wrong. There should be an age restriction. But they are just open to everybody. And they have been brought closer even to the residential areas where even children can access. So that's also another thing that makes it easy for people to bet, because it is readily available. It's easy to join. Another benefit of betting is that usually it gives people opportunity to learn the game or study the game, Most of the time you'll find that gamblers, before the game starts, they do some analysis of the games. And that gives them an opportunity to learn the game, the statistics, the history of the teams, So it's an opportunity for people to learn the teams, get more information, and so on. Because people usually don't just go there, and maybe there are things you don't know, you've never heard of. So just go into the history and start reading more. So that's also kind of a benefit, because it makes people get more information about these teams, about these countries, about players even. Because when you know as a good player is in a certain team, it means maybe that they have a good chance, So that's also a benefit of gambling. But there are also disadvantages or dangers of betting. You know, one of the dangers is that it usually sells to you false hope. That's a danger, because you put a bet, maybe you put a multi-bet for just maybe 100 shillings, and then you find that you have a possible winning of 50,000, you know, and you are very happy, you are very excited. Some people can even start now planning that if I get this money, I'm going to do this and this and so many things. Because at times you find that you have already arranged your bet in a certain manner that you believe you have a very good chance. So some people start even now planning for this money. And they have hopes, which is not there. So that's a danger, a false hope. Because you may just get a lot of teams correct, and then maybe 2 you get wrong. Now your hope has collapsed. You know? That's also a danger of betting. Another danger I had mentioned earlier is about age control. It has not been well regulated. There are those good companies that you can only bet with them after you have registered, and the requirement is maybe an identity card. But there are so many that do not observe that, especially the ones that are now opening shops in the residential areas. These ones, they don't care. So long as you just enter there, you choose your bets, you pay, they will not consider the age limit. So that is a danger, because now it's exposing even the children to this kind of practices, which is not very a good practice for children to start. That's a danger. Another danger is that betting is addictive. It can addict you. If you do it so many times, or there's a way it can enter your system, and then you become now addicted. So that before you play, you don't feel very well, you know. A lot of people even go to these casinos, and they can spend even the whole night there. They have been addicted. Even the sports betting, you put a bet, maybe your betters, you've lost, your bet collapses, maybe before the other games are played. You had put a multi-bet, and maybe the first 2 games, the third game, your bet has collapsed. You find that you want to now put another follow-up bet so that you can recover your money that you have lost in the other bet. So you put another bet with the remaining games so that you can recover your bet. And then you lose that bet again. And then there are some few games still left. Then you put another bet again, you know. So those follow-up bets, that's how you start getting addicted. And the more you start losing, something just keeps pushing you that you need to recover your money. You need to recover your money. So the more you push to recover your money, is the more you lose more money. And the more your system now gets used to, you get addicted, you know. Another disadvantage is that you lose money. Betting, you lose money. You have to be ready. As much as you are pushing to earn money, you are going to lose money. Because these people are in this business. It's not a charity that people should come and win, bets and they pay. They're also in this as a business. And you are coming as a client. You are coming as a customer. You know? And they are here to make profits. So don't think that you are going just there to be winning. You will lose money. And given the percentages that I've given you earlier, you know that it is more times that you will lose than you will get. That one you should just be prepared. You are going to lose money. That's a disadvantage. Another disadvantage, you know, is that emotionally, this thing can also affect you. You know, you can have a very good day, you are very happy, until a certain level that you have placed a bet and you have lost your bet and you have lost your money. Your mood will just change. Even if you are in high spirits, but now just all of a sudden, your mood just changes because maybe this was your money that you had put your hopes on and you wanted to multiply it. But now it is also gone, nothing left, you have not won anything, it will affect your mood. That's a disadvantage of also betting. And you're supposed to consider the benefits and the dangers and see which one you prefer, and then it will guide you. Another danger is that betting can be very time consuming. It will consume your time. For those who are serious gamblers, they usually take their time so much and resources. If you find that somebody wants to research, is go to a cyber, or if he has a personal computer, they just usually will take their time, do analysis, research, this team is playing, which team is from which country. They take a lot of time researching and trying to weigh out which team is better than statistics, last matches and everything. So after you've taken all your time like that, and you've put a multi-bet, only for this team or one team out of this or two to go wrong. And now all the time that you had put, all the energy that you have put is gone, is wasted. Time that maybe you will have used to do something that maybe could have been constructive. So it's very time consuming. That's a disadvantage. And another thing about betting that is a disadvantage, it has caused now that these games at times they don't play fairly. There's something that has come, it's called match fixing. It's happening, it's a real thing. And it has come simply because of betting companies. It is real. At times, some big teams usually are just compromised. Yeah, it happens. You find that a certain team, which is on form and is doing very well, and they are going to meet a certain team which is not as strong, very weak. And maybe if it was a competition or a tournament, and this team has already qualified, they don't even need that to win, they have already qualified. You find that these betting companies usually approach these teams and talk to them. You have already won this group. You don't need any win, you have already qualified, and you're going to face this team. Allow them to beat you, or just allow a draw, so that you can fix this match and you're going to have a certain share. Usually they don't even have to talk to the entire team or the management. They can approach just maybe a few players who are key to that game. Even like the defender or a goalkeeper. Just go and handle the ball on the box to cause a penalty. Just go and, when you have an opportunity to score, don't score, pass to somebody so that you lose that chance. They are usually compromised like that. At times, even the entire team doesn't know. Just maybe a few players have been consulted, have been spoken to. So just find that there's a game that we are very sure is going to go this way. But at the end of the day, they have just been beaten 1-0, a penalty. A player just handled the ball in the box and it's a penalty, it's a goal. And a lot of people who had now put their bet on this big team will lose. And that's how some of these things happen. So that's a disadvantage because it's going to spoils the game, the beautiful game. You know, those are the disadvantages of betting. So you just weigh which one which one if you feel that the benefits are better, are more, or the dangers are more, you know where you feel. But as I conclude, let me just give a few signs of addiction. You know, gambling is very difficult to know whether you are addicted or to know whether somebody is addicted, as opposed to these other addictions like alcohol. When your friend is addicted to alcohol, you can easily tell very fast because you can always find them. Most of the time they are under influence, most of the time they are drunk, or some smell of alcohol is coming out of them, you know. But for betting addiction, you will not know that your friend has this problem. When you just meet, everything is okay, but this guy is under some pressure. This guy is under some stress. He's losing money. You will not know. But there are a few tips that you need to observe, and then you may know whether you are a victim of addiction or your friend maybe is addicted to this thing. If you bet to an extent that nowadays you start even now going to these virtual games, that's a sign of addiction. Why should you go to these virtual games? Then they're not real matches. They're just games that are played maybe even for 2 minutes. You find that there's a screen there. Today there's maybe a certain team against another team, the big team that you know, but it's not a real game. It's not a real match. Just these visual games that have been created, and people just put their money on those kind of games, you know, and they are just going to be played through maybe some manipulation of the computer and everything. People just put their money on such kind of games. Those are now addiction now, because you find that the real matches are far away, and you feel that you have to bet. So you just rush to this kind of now virtual games. That's a sign of addiction. When you see that you usually go to play this kind of games, know that addiction is with you. Or you find that when matches are playing, you have already placed your bet, but still you are going to the live section and start putting live matches. You start betting on the live matches. That is also a sign of addiction, you know, because you are not being contented that you have already placed a bet on the real match. Why can't you wait for the results? You still have to go back and start betting now on the live match, that the team that will score first, you know. That's a sign of addiction. You should be very careful. When you see a friend of yours start telling you that I was putting some live games, you know that this guy is another level. He cannot just wait for the match to end and see whether they have won or not. They're still following the live games in the live match betting section. Another thing that will tell you that you are addicted is when you now have to borrow money. You have to go and ask for somebody to support you with some money so that you can come and place a bet. That is addiction. That's obvious now you are addicted. You know? Betting is not a basic thing that you must need to an extent that you go to borrow money. Where is the guarantee that you're going to win that much for you to go and borrow money and place? It's a wrong calculation. And it means that now you are living with addiction now in this gambling games. Just bet as a game. bet as a game. But the moment you want to put yourself so much you want to put betting as your livelihood. That's an addiction or a wrong calculation. You should just bet within your means, not even within your means, but within just the money that you are ready to lose. Money that you can spend anyhow. You can maybe buy your friend something with that. Those are the kind of money you should be using to place bets. Money that when you lose, nothing will change in your life. But you find that somebody will just go to an extent that even the key amount that he's going to use for some very special thing, like maybe paying rent or paying school fees, this person will take this money and place it on a bet. That is now addiction, because you are going to an abnormal extent. Don't take betting as a source of income. Play it as a game. Those are some of the signs. When you see that you can always go to an extent that you borrow money to come and place a bet, you are now crossing the red line. And if you go like that, you may end up messing yourself, because you can end up being betting the entire amount that you have. And this is what now leads to people taking some very bad or drastic measures when the results comes very wrong or very different. There was a case of a university student who, when he was given money to go and pay for school fees, he went, I think it was the final of a World Cup, he went and put this money on a bet first, money that was meant for school fees. And the parents had even sold their properties that they had, the cattle and land, so that they could raise money. And then they give this student to go and pay for their school fees. And the student just decided now to place a bet on this money. But he had not done research very well. So he just put half of the amount on another team, and another half of the amount on another team. He did not know that usually there's a draw that can also happen. So half the money on one team, half the money on another team. So he was kind of sure that at least one team must win. But he was forgetting that a draw can also happen. And what happened is the worst that he was not expecting. The team ended 0-0. That's how he lost the entire school fees. And he did a very bad thing to himself. So let's try to control this addiction and just enjoy this as fun. Have it as fun. And finally, before I conclude now, for gamblers, try to be very careful with some betting companies. There are some betting companies that are a fraud. You need to be very careful. Even some of these that are coming to open shops in the local areas, in the villages, even if you enter the place and see the way it is established, you already know that you cannot be paid $1 million if you win it, because when looking at the standards of the place. And then further, the person still is so blindfolded, they bet amounts that they are still hoping to win even 2 million, 5 million in a place like that. Already the place, when you look at it, the investment that is already put there is not even worth 100,000, and you are putting a bet worth $1 million. If you win it, where is the guarantee that you're going to be given that amount? So be careful with which sites and which betting companies you deal with. Some of them are a fraud. And also there are these fake tipsters that have come all over. You know, they are trying to source for people's numbers, and then they send you SMSs that we have sure bets, we have sure odds. If you bet with that, we are going to give you tips. I don't think those ones, be very careful. They are just trying to do business. Because if they are sure with those tips, why don't they bet themselves? Why don't they place the money on those teams that they are proposing to you, so that they can make money themselves? So be very, very careful. Just bet as a game, but don't bet as if now your hopes are all glued into that particular bet to earn in livelihood. That's all that I wanted to share today. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all our viewers and all our subscribers. For those who have not subscribed, kindly subscribe and give our videos likes. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God's blessing.